Welcome to the Texas Goat Radio Show. I'm your host, Matorius. This is part 2 of the live stream 1729 from today. It's actively going on right now.
Being abused as a kid is what makes gay men. Does no one realize this? But the sound of freedom, if you put a blanket over them and give them hot cocoa and make a Hollywood movie and do the GoFundMe, they all become good. No, they're damaged for fucking life. Okay? God, I hope we're on Twitter right now because these people need to hear this shit. This is where I'm from. You know that? Remember, Bane was born. You were merely adopted to the shadow. I'm from a place and I'm from an upbringing where I don't have a...
I'm going to go ahead and say this. One, you don't have to be molested in order to be homosexual. Two, just because you are molested doesn't mean you are a homosexual.
Your response to social shame, because I know how fucking disgusting these people are. These kids I live right next door to had $1 million settlement because they were raped by the dude who lived right there. Chester the molester, Father Dan with the cold hands, everybody knew. If you were a kid with a broken family or an alcoholic dad, they became your dad and they fucked you on camping trips. Okay, this is where I'm from. I didn't just become a guy that can talk about nuclear bombs and conspiracies and not give a fuck. I was born in this. My mother is a strong woman. She would call out Father Faro and all these pedophile priests. We went to the Newman Center. I was baptized. And then we realized that there were a bunch of dirty fucking pedophiles. Father Lorenz, Father Fafaro, Father Dan. Oh, don't call me Father Casey. I'm Father Dan with the cold hands. Chester the molester, all fucking pedophiles. Like, fucked kids. Open your mouth for the body of Christ. It wasn't the body of Christ they were putting in kids' mouths.
There's a way of talking about stuff, and I understand being passionate about something. But once again, his proclamation of you have to be vulgar in order to break spells and all that kind of stuff, that's not true. It's simply not true at all. And this is a very adrenaline-pumping, passionate thing to be speaking about. It is very understandable for your emotions to be high whenever you're speaking about things like this. I had a channel before this channel that I had over 700 videos. It was over 700 videos, and it was over the course of, if it was still active today, it was probably 10 years old, I think. I'm not too sure, but it went through a couple of different name changes. And I had over 700 videos, and a lot of them were tracking human trafficking, were taking notes of human trafficking. It wasn't in the style of this, to where I was thinking about the audience at all. It was just a channel where I was taking notes. That's where I kept the notes that I took that weren't in my books. And yeah.
All right, sick, twisted shit. So, forgive me if when I look at the sound of bullshit and I see little Jimmy Caviezel with Father Poopy Pants himself, guys.
See, there's no reason. If you know who Jimmy Caviezel is, there's absolutely no reason, as far as I know. Now, if you know, but there's absolutely no reason for anybody to slander that man at all. At all. And so for him it's just an illustration of his character. There's no reason. Does this movie draw attention to a certain thing that shouldn't be happening? Absolutely. I can feel me getting more passionate about this, and I need to calm down. There's no reason for it.
The Pope is as close to the devil incarnate as I can imagine. And this dude's on his fucking knees next to the devil. This is insane. And you're going to tell me you're rescuing children from Colombian jungles? GoFundMe? Wait, where the fuck were you, Jesus? Didn't you play Jesus?
This I would say, in my opinion, this is kind of a great example of why mercy and grace needs to be extended to current and former bears, is because you could honestly say the exact same thing about them. The people that rub shoulders with Owen Benjamin, the dangerous cult-leading, I was going to say something, predator. I don't know if y'all felt that, but that was almost a slip right there. Yeah. Same thing. Just because something potentially could be corrupt doesn't mean that there's not a possibility that other people around that aren't genuine. And that is a big lesson that needs to be learned right here.
Oh, ripped up. That's why your balls went to dust. You know, Jimmy Caviezel here, old Jesus, he has 3 adopted Chinese kids. I'm guessing because he did so many fucking roids, his nutsack doesn't work. You want to know why I am the way I am? All you Twitter people, all you people concerned about me, it's because I know how fucking predators work. You show no fear. You look at them in the eyes and you tell them what you know they are. And all they have is the rant.
Yes. That's pretty accurate as to what's going on right here.
Ranting and seething and gnashing of teeth of Reddit. I've been dealing with Reddit since the fucking 80s, since before the internet existed.
What? Oh, man. All right.
They go, oh, Owen's a bad kid. Owen's mother's a witch. Owen's father is one of these intellectuals. Owen, these people. No, I'm like, no, that guy is molesting my friend. We're not going to a Catholic church anymore. We know what they do on the camping trips. We know that Father Fafaro's living with an 18-year-old boy, fucking him in the ass in the rectory.
There's no reason for the vulgarity. No reason whatsoever.
Oh, you're attacking God. Oh, Jesus said this. Jesus said that we would be attacked because they hated him first, you see.
And I want to illustrate the fact that I'm not a prude. Like, whenever I'm not speaking to people on the internet, I do cuss sometimes. Probably more than I should. I participate in dark comedy. And I say participate whenever it's me and my buddies, especially me and my really good buddy. Man, some of the things that make us laugh isn't suitable for other crowds. It's really not. Something that can be easily taken out of context. That's for sure. All I'm saying is if you are trying to reach the most people possible, just like a buffet, you need to be palatable for the majority. And it goes completely against what Owen Benjamin said earlier whenever he was making excuses for why he was talking. It was that Instagram post whenever he was talking about being vulgar, vulgate. It's of the people. Vulgarity is of the people. And yeah, sure, there might be something to that, but I don't believe it.
Fuck you. You're hiding behind this status, this vanity of God. It's a miracle that I believe in God. It's a miracle that I listen to Jesus Christ's words. It's a miracle.
It is.
I was so hedonistic after my experience growing up in Oswego, New York. I thought the God scam was as ridiculous and evil as anything was imaginable. I ran into the arms of the scientists and the Jews and all these people.
And Hollywood.
Because the Catholics were so fucking evil. Evil, evil, evil. It doesn't get more evil, okay? And so these movies, I know how people absolve. This
is interesting that he thinks that an entire group of people are evil because of a certain amount of that group. That's very interesting. Whenever I don't say that the entirety of the Bears are evil because of their leader. A little leaven leavens the whole. A little least leavens the whole loaf, right? That is true, but I think that it's also possible that people that are sincere and kind and generous can be taken advantage of. So
themselves. I know how they feel better about themselves. Because the only reason I'm reacting to the sound of bullshit little fear porn child abduction movie is because my Twitter is littered with the same marketing ploy by Jordan Peterson and who likes his daughter's underwear pics on Instagram.
He's almost acting as though he doesn't want this movie to get out and people to find out exactly what he's doing. Now, that's a speculation. That is a speculation. That is not an opinion, but just a speculation. That's a possibility of what could possibly be going on. You ever caught somebody in a lie or you thought, or they acted as though their whole thing was falling down? And it's very similar to backing a wild animal in a corner. That's kind of the vibes that I'm picking up from this guy right now.
Fucking creep, okay? Ben Shapiro, who's a part owner of an Israeli pharmaceutical company, okay, who talks about how killing Arab civilians is great and how we're getting a great deal on killing Russians right now. Like, these people are bloodthirsty monsters, okay? So they're saying you must see this movie. This movie, if you don't like this movie, it's because you're a pedophile.
Who does that sound like? If you don't like my comedy, if you don't agree with everything that I say, who does that sound like? That's not, it's insanely embarrassing of how obvious this is. Insanely embarrassing. This is absolutely insane of how oh man.
If you don't support and talk about this movie, I wonder why. Is it because you're into human trafficking?
If you don't think that I'm funny, and this is a direct quote from Owen Benjamin, if you don't think that what I just said is funny, it's probably because you masturbate 1,000 times a day, which is equivalent to saying, if you don't think that I'm funny, it's because you are a pervert.
Nice marketing ploy. Nice try there. There's been plenty of movies about human trafficking and child abduction. Man on Fire with Denzel Washington, when they put a
That's a great movie, by the way.
bomb in a guy's asshole to get a child back that was kidnapped.
Funny thing about that, whenever I said that was a great movie, don't even remember that part of it. If that's true.
Or what about Taken? Didn't Taken already analyze exactly the...
This is the Texas Goat Radio Show, and I'm your host, Matorius. As always, till next time.